think Ghanaians are nicer. Kenyans, we have a tendency of being, we mind our own business. Honestly, it's very expensive to just try and send something to Kenya or to even receive something from Kenya. It's extremely expensive. Ghanaians are a little bit less aggressive than Kenyans.
That's
I
fair.
wouldn't put the aggressive of Kenyans as Nigerians. Sometimes women feel like they have to match to be able to be chosen.
Right.
You don't know whether to be visible, whether you're visible or you're too visible,
Yes.
whether you're loud or
It's
you're
always a
too
dance,
loud. There's
isn't it?
always, yes, there's always pros and cons. There's nothing like work-life balance.
Right.
Doesn't exist. It's work-life integration. You
Mhm.
think in our whole trying to mentor girls that we are forgetting about the boy child? As a mother of
All the
sons.
time.
And you might initially think, oh, why is this shirtless dude? What is he doing? And why is
Doing
he
backflips in
doing
bowls of
backflips? What is
jollof.
it? What is it? Yes, exactly. What is it bringing to me?
Emma is the chairperson of the Kenyans in Ghana Association. She is also an executive committee member of the Executive Women Network, EWN, a non-profit organization of women in senior management and executive positions in private institutions, organizations, as well as women entrepreneurs. Emma has been named among the top 10 women in PR Ghana for 2 years in a row, 2023 and 2024. She was also named among the top 10 women in PR in Africa by Africa PR Week. She is an avid reader, she enjoys watching football, and one of her favorite pastimes is traveling. Emma graduated with an MBA in Human Resource Management from the University of Ghana in 2014. Prior to this, she graduated from the University of Nairobi with a Bachelor of Arts combined major degree in French and Sociology. Emma, thank you so much for having us at your office here at Global Media Alliance. It's been long overdue. We've been
Yes, it
trying to
has.
pick dates and try and organize ourselves. You're so busy flying around, making things
It's
happen,
crazy.
talking to clients and brands. And so we're really, really grateful. Thank you so much for your time.
It's nice to have all of you here. Thank you for coming, for allowing even the shoot to be done in my office.
Yes,
Yes.
no, wherever you were going to be, we're like, no, we need to
Come
have
there.
exactly. If we needed to come here, then so be it. But thank you so much for your
Thank you,
time.
Fiona. It's a
Great.
pleasure.
Thank you so much. So, should we jump in? Should we crack
Yes,
on?
let's do this.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Okay. So, first of all, before I go into anything, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay.
Yes.
My name is Emma Wenani. I'm a Kenyan living in Ghana. I've been in Ghana for the last, it's going to be 16 years next month.
Veteran.
Yes. It's crazy. It seems like just yesterday I landed at Kotoka and now it's called Accra International Airport
Yes.
on a hot day. And I was like, what is that heat? But yes, that is Ghana for you. I work in consulting. I'm a communications consultant at Global Media Alliance. So GMA is an integrated media marketing communications company. We do have broadcasting assets, but I lead the agency side of the business. So we consult for clients in PR, events, digital marketing.
Great.
So that's a little bit about me.
I can't wait to get into the clients and the brands that you work with because they're so impressive. Initially, you mentioned, of course, you're a Kenyan
Yes, I
and you've
am.
been building a career here in Ghana for 16 years, as you
Yeah.
said, and you're in the media space. Most people doing what you do are either chasing money or either chasing a title. What are you actually chasing?
I'm chasing a legacy. I'm chasing an impact. I like to think of myself as adventurous, but not spontaneous. And one of the reasons why I actually moved to Ghana was adventure. I was tired of being in Kenya. I mean, I've been in Kenya my whole life. I was
Kenya's
born there,
amazing,
and it's
though.
a beautiful country. So when people say, "Why would you move from Kenya to Ghana?" It's like, well, you never know what you don't have until you go there. So I moved to Ghana to chase an impact, a legacy, something that I could do out of my comfort zone. I mean, I moved to Ghana in my mid 20s. So I was literally a girl, still am at heart. But I believe that I've been able to really, really grow in this country. One, because I took myself out of a comfort zone. I was here by myself without my family. I had to make new friends. I had to make new connections. I had to build my career because they did not know me. So I had to show them what I'm worth. And it's been worth my while. Absolutely.
So out of that, two questions. Why Ghana?
Mhm.
And then, East Africa, Kenya, is a major hub in East Africa. Of course, Ghana is a major hub in West Africa. What are the nuances that you've learned about like culturally about people in the two different spaces? Because we are quite different. My husband's
Yes,
Kenyan,
yes, we're
and
quite
so we
different.
do see the differences. So I'd love to know why Ghana.
Why? Honestly, there is not really one answer that would choose that. I had been to Ghana before.
Okay.
I had been to Ghana in 2008 for a conference. So I belonged, when I was in campus, I belonged to an organization called ISEC.
Oh yes, yes.
Yes, and one of the pillars of ISEC, because I was in the executive committee or executive board, it's that you have to go on exchange in a different country. Basically, a 1 year program where you get to learn about the cultures of that place and so on and so forth. My initial choice was a French-speaking country because I studied French in campus, and I
Amazing.
thought, why not go immerse yourself in a French-speaking country and then practice the French? Africa was always on my list. But when I looked at the job descriptions in West Africa, because then I was interested in organizational development, I wanted to understand how people and systems at organizations work.
Right.
So I was like, I mean, if I'm coming back to work in Kenya, why don't I see what's happening in a different market, expose myself to those, development opportunities, interact with the people, and see what I can be able to bring home.
Amazing.
I didn't get what would I say, a job description that was able to make me feel satisfied. And then a friend of mine who is actually still here in Ghana said there's an opportunity in Ghana Global Media Alliance. I was like, I've been to Ghana before. Why don't I go back? Fiona, you quickly learn that when you go to a country for a conference, it's different than living there.
Absolutely.
It's different. My goodness, it's crazy that I've been able to survive in Ghana for 15 years. Initially, it was hard. I think Ghana has definitely changed a lot.
So, based on your conversation now about Ghana and Kenya,
Mhm,
2 points come to mind. One, why did you choose Ghana?
mhm.
And two, what are the cultural nuances between these two great countries in their
Yeah.
respective regions? Because I'm
Okay.
quite intrigued.
Okay. So I don't think there's one specific reason I chose Ghana.
Right.
I wanted something different. I had been in Kenya all my life, and I wanted to be in a different country just to understand the people. I was particularly then interested about organizational development. So I wanted to practice a bit of HR, get to know people and how organizations work. And because I'd studied French in school, I also wanted a French speaking country.
Amazing.
So I was searching around West Africa for French speaking countries, any job opportunities. I didn't get any. And a friend of mine who was then working in Ghana was like, why don't you choose Ghana? Come to Ghana. It's a year. Just see what Ghana has to offer. And I think Ghana chose me. But you quickly come to learn that it's different when you're visiting a country and you're stuck in a
Absolutely.
hotel for some time, and now you're
Correct.
living in that
You're
country
really being
because,
immersed
oh
really in the
wow, the
culture.
Ghana in 2010 was so different from the Ghana right now. In fact, I tell Kenyans coming right now that you're coming to a better Ghana. You're so
I
lucky.
agree.
You're
I
so
agree.
lucky. Yeah. So differences. I think Ghanaians are nicer. Kenyans, we have a tendency of we mind our own business. So
Mm,
we're not as friendly.
mm.
I love when I'm walking around and everybody greets you.
I
We don't do
know.
that in
Yeah,
Kenya. We
that's so
don't do
true.
that in Kenya.
It's
People
it's
will be
quite
thinking,
British in some
why we are
ways,
so
isn't it?
British. We were
Mm,
fully colonized,
mm,
unfortunately.
mm.
So very British at that. And Ghanaians, I think, are a bit more hospitable. I know Kenyans are friendly. We have, of course, we
Mm.
won't let you just be,
Of
but
course.
there's that aspect of we mind our own business. So,
Mm,
if somebody doesn't come into your business, it's better that way. And then one of the things that I feel has kept me grounded in Ghana is the cultural richness. So a lot of people think of Kenya, they think of animals, of wildlife, of the Maasai.
Yeah.
So that's what defines what a Kenyan is, and running,
Of
at
course,
least,
of
and
course, of
running.
course. Your
But
athletic
Ghanaians
prowess.
have all this culture. It's rich. I
Yes.
remember I've gone to naming ceremonies. I've been to funerals of different
Yeah.
tribes.
Yeah.
I've been to what do they like chief
Yeah.
events, like
Yeah.
festivals,
It's
and
so
it's just
diverse,
rich and
isn't
it's so
it?
diverse.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I love Ghana so much. On the work ethic, maybe I would say Ghanaians are a little bit less aggressive than Kenyans. I
That's fair.
wouldn't put the aggressive of Kenyans as Nigerians, because Nigerians, that's a different ballgame totally. But I
100%.
think Ghana has a way of just grounding you and, let's just go with the flow. Don't be too much in a hurry. And I think everybody needs that kind of
But it has its
breather.
pros and cons,
It
though,
does have
doesn't
its
it?
pros and cons.
Mm,
And
mm,
Fiona, you get to go to the beach every weekend. You have the beach everywhere. In
mm.
in Kenya, where I've grown up, we go to the beach for holiday.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Go to
yes. So the
Mombasa or
access to the
just,
beach is it's amazing.
yeah.
So that's Ghana for you.
I love that. I love that. So with regards to like the again the Kenya Ghana relationship,
Yeah.
um, they have two distinct, I think, like hubs, especially in the professional setting.
Yeah.
Are there like invisible business barriers?
Mm-hmm.
And how would one try and do business here in Ghana, and how one would do business in Kenya, since there may be some nuances between the two? Are there anything
Actually,
that's
there's so
distinct?
much that Kenyans love about Ghana. I
Okay.
think every time I'm going home, there's always the request for Ankara. There's always the
Okay.
request for shea butter. There's
Okay.
always the request for black soap. And I
Great.
do know a lot of entrepreneurs have taken advantage of that.
Fantastic.
And the same business ideas of Kenyan coffee, Kenyan tea.
Yeah.
We also have the Maasai cloth, the
Yes, the
sandals that
sandals.
people
I was
love.
actually
Yes,
selling
in
those for a
oh,
bit. They went
lovely
well.
in Ghana.
Mm.
But because of, and I think it's majorly an African problem, and I know that AfCFTA has tried to come and reduce some of these challenges, but honestly, it's very expensive
Mhm.
to just try and send something to Kenya or to even receive something from Kenya. It's extremely expensive. And I really think that whoever is going to be able to solve that barrier is
Yeah.
going to be
It'd be a game
a
changer.
billionaire. It's going to
Yeah.
be a game changer,
Yeah.
because if you're not sending it by flight, or you're
Ugh,
not looking for somebody who is
to bring
willing to take an extra suitcase, which you're going to pay for, or somebody who can carry for you. But the thing with business, Fiona, you can't do it in small
no.
tranches. It has to be in bulk.
Yeah,
So if
indeed.
I want to bring shea butter to Kenya, it has to be a
Be
good
yeah,
person that
sizable.
that will be able to make business sense. And if it's going to be expensive, it's going to discourage a lot of entrepreneurs. So I think there's really some work that needs to be done on
Mm.
that particular area. And also just travel, because I mean, Ghana has been visa free to Kenyans for a very long time,
Yes.
and there's
Yep.
that relationship. I think there's a very good relationship between Kenya government and the Ghana government from a
Yes.
very long time ago, days of Nkrumah.
Yeah.
So we've always been able to travel within each other's countries for free, but
Yeah.
it's expensive. Just to fly to Nairobi, to
Yes, I
fly to
know. It's
Accra, it's
almost
really
like
expensive. So it's
$1,000
people
even.
always rather go to London, to Spain, than to travel within Africa. So again, going back to whoever is going to be able to change that, I
Mm.
think it's going to be a really, really big game changer.
I mean, to be fair, I've been working with the AfCFTA
Uh-huh.
for a little while now, and to be fair, I
Mm-hmm.
think there are a lot of changes exciting changes that will
Yeah.
be coming
Yeah.
with regards to, reducing,
The
barriers to
cost.
trade and
Yeah.
things like that,
Yeah.
because there's so much that we
Mm-hmm.
have with
Mm-hmm.
regards to our natural resources
Mm-hmm.
and products and services, and
Yeah.
exchanging of ideas and services. And so I'm excited,
Yeah.
because, as you said, once we're able to crack that, then I
Mm-hmm.
think really engaging with borders outside of the continent
Will not be
will
difficult. Yeah.
exactly.
And I mean, I like to give credit where it's due.
Yeah.
And I do give credit to AfTac, because
Yeah.
we have a group of Kenyans who are actually now able to bring in Kenyan tea
Mm-hmm.
to Ghana.
Is that Kitapa?
Katepa, yes. And
Yes.
it's actually
Yes.
stocked at Maxmat, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't there
It
before,
wasn't.
and
It's true.
now there's something that is there, so
It's
we can
true.
give credit where it's due. But
Yeah.
definitely, there's room for more to be done in that area, and I know they're working towards that, and we're all looking forward to it. Because
Yes.
even like flowers, Fiona, flowers are so expensive
Expensive.
in
I
Ghana. I'm like,
know. It's just
in
a small
Kenya, just a
bouquet.
small bouquet
Yeah.
is so expensive,
Yeah.
and you have to. I'm
Yeah.
somebody who loves flowers, and when I'm home, there's always flowers at home. So you move
It's
to
love.
Ghana where flowers are like, then you
Yeah.
realize that, of course, it's different when you're growing them here
Exactly. The
than when you're
climate.
importing them. So,
Yeah.
of course, costs are going to differ.
Mm.
But I do believe that once such little boundaries are broken, then things will become better. Absolutely.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, if somebody is listening to you, us
Mm-hmm.
right now,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a skill, they have a product, and maybe, or just an idea, but they don't have any branding presence, they don't even have a logo,
Okay.
where would you advise that they actually start? What, like, honestly, what would be their first step? Again, coming from a marketing and communications consultant.
Okay, that's a good question. And I, for one, have also started little businesses here and there.
Okay.
So I do know a little bit when it comes to how to start and maybe not scale businesses, but I can give a few ideas.
Yes.
I think honestly, the logo is the last thing that you need.
People usually do that the
Yeah,
first.
it's the last thing that you need because you need the clarity about what is the business about.
Mm-hmm.
What is the particular niche that you're trying to build for yourself? Who is your audience before you even start? Once you get those things clear, it will be easier to scale. I strongly believe that a lot of businesses fail to pick up or get to the next level because they're trying to do so many things at the same time.
Right.
You're trying to finance it to grow. You're trying to be, let's say, a millionaire overnight. You're trying to ensure that you're either selling to everybody. But
Right.
so it we
You
get
can't be all things
confused.
to
Yeah,
everybody.
and everybody has their own opinion. You're trying to please everybody, and if a startup starts at that particular level, it's very difficult. So just understand what clarity understand clearly what your business is about. So let's say, for example, you're getting into baking. I have a baking business, so let me speak about it.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting into baking. In the market, is that something that people need every day? For example, they can be able to eat bread every day, but will they eat cakes every day? Maybe not.
Right.
And even if they're eating cakes every day, is it what kind of cakes? And how can you be able to differentiate yourself? And I've seen people getting into, because there's so many bakeries, others have selected a USP which is gluten free.
Exactly.
Because as people are getting older
Yes.
or
So have allergies and
allergies and
things.
so on and so forth, they're getting to choose this option. So also look at that as one of the options instead of being just what everybody is.
Right.
Choose your specific niche and stick to that. Then do a little bit about market research. So everybody is making clothes. Yes, we're always wearing clothes, and I want to get into the clothes business. So do I want to go fully corporate? Do I want to do Ankara? Do I want to do Ankara mixed with corporate and so on and so forth? Do I want to do both men and women? Do I want to do XYZ? And once you have this clarity, it will even bring this logo into mind, and then the branding. And also with branding, it's about where do you want to be at this point in time.
Right.
You have to be digitally present.
Savvy.
You
Yeah.
have to be digitally present, because if people are not able to see you even online,
It's difficult
yes,
to
a lot
grow.
of businesses right now are even growing without having a physical presence,
Mm.
all because of online.
Yeah.
And I think we need to be able to do that. People love convenience. So if I can be able to order online and it comes to me, why not? So honestly, logo, last thing. So
Yeah.
just have your clear idea about what you want to do, get your audience correct, and build that unique niche that will serve your market. And I think everything will work out. The financing and everything else will come into play, of course, later.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I think that solid advice. I mean, I think about what I was doing, before, we started this, and the first thing that I would have that I did was, okay, let me just draw a really nice logo, make
Yes.
it like, okay, the colors, the
Yes.
font, and I'm just like, okay, Fee, so now what? you
And
know.
with the colors, funny enough, people always choose their favorite colors. But the
Right.
color should actually represent what the business is about.
Right.
So
Yes.
of
Yes.
course you're easily drawn to the colors that appeal to you, but are those the colors that appeal to people?
True. Because you
So
want people to gravitate to your
exactly. So are you
brand.
building a luxury brand? People think luxury is white and gold,
Oh,
or black and gold, or purple and, but
true.
I think you need to do a little bit more research into that, and that takes time.
Mm.
So even before concluding what the logo is about, try it in different variations and let's see what happens.
Let's use the analogy of a bakery.
Okay.
And they're doing really well in their catchment area,
Mm-hmm.
you know, getting calls or maybe online orders and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
How does, let's say, as we term here, like a local champion,
Mm-hmm.
grow into something that may be a bit more, maybe national, a national brand,
Yeah.
or even multinational? How can a brand or an organization like that grow
Grow
from being a
into
local
that area.
champion? Yes.
So I think hopefully
Hmm.
at the very beginning of this business there was some sort of long-term plan, right? So
Helpful.
that's very key to have, because once you're growing a business, any kind of business, you need to be able to think of the short term. We've just started. We want to maybe employ one person, then two, three, four, five. We're just going to be based in Medina. Then we want to open other branches in Osu, cantonments, and so on and so forth. But it has to have a period of time. So it's a long term plan, right? And then it's also very important to always benchmark against other people who have,
Been
done
in
very
the
well, because you're not alone in the industry. So surround yourself with networks of people who have hopefully grown businesses, because they can be able to give you ideas of how to grow. The thing with business owners is we often feel like we're competing with everybody, but I don't think anybody wants to be a business owner by themselves. There are some people who are particularly very keen about growing other entrepreneurs, about sharing the best case practices, so that, I mean, if I've gone through the pitfalls, I don't want you to go through the same thing, because I
ex.
have gone through it. So I can be able to tell you the do's and don'ts, and then you can be able to grow. Another thing is operate your business, no matter how small, like you're building a grand business. So have the right SOPs to do things, such that even if one person or even yourself, you're not there, everybody knows the standard operating procedures of doing XYZ.
Right.
So whether it's a bakery, whether it's a consulting firm as GMA, whether it's a dressmaking shop, what are the ins and outs of how much fabric do we use, how much cutting do we need to cut, this is the way we cut, this is the way we measure, this is what we use to measure, this is how we do our reporting, these are the reports we need on a quarterly basis, this is our board of directors, this is who I go to when I need particular advice. And that is how you can be able to scale a business, because you're not operating in limbo, you're operating in an industry that already has such other businesses, or even businesses that you admire. And also don't be limited to thinking within your country, and YouTube is one of the best universities in the
Oh,
world. It has everything.
yeah,
It literally has everything.
it does.
So go on YouTube and see people talking about how to scale businesses. There are a lot of TED topics
Talks.
on just this. Learn about how financing is done, talk about a business plan, how to even get financing into your business, how you can hire the best of the best. A lot of businesses also struggle when it comes to, maybe you've started a startup and then you always feel like your employees are, once you train them,
Yeah.
they
They
leave you and
leave.
they start a different competing business, and you
Right.
can't be
And
able to
you hear
stop
that a
that.
lot.
Yeah, and you get
Yeah.
that, but you can't stop it.
No.
At the end of the day, it's better to have people who are well trained than
Yes.
to have people who are not trained
At
at
all.
all. So
Exactly.
just train them. If you lose them, it's fine.
Yeah.
Then you'll be able to get more people, because the operating procedures are the same.
Mm.
But I think for me, the best thing you can be able to do for a business is to ensure that the best case practices are being followed, they're being looked at, and also build a good network of people who hold your hand. Because I'm not an entrepreneur full time, but I know that it's very lonely being an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
because you're doing everything. Sometimes it's a one-man shop, but you need
Yep.
to make it work.
Yep.
At the end of the month, your employees are expecting a salary, and you're
Yep.
just like, how am I going to be able to
Yep.
get? Because money doesn't come in every day, right? So
Yeah.
even if it doesn't come in every day, it needs to go
It
out.
does. It
So
does. It does.
just
It's a
have the proper
reality.
networks that will be able to hold your hand through this whole process. I think it's really important.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So would you say that in order to transcend from local to, whether it's national or multinational, one of like the most painful things that a brand may go through would be the growth, maybe losing
Yeah,
people potentially.
yeah.
Are those is that
I think
something
that's
that
yeah, that's some the foundation is always the most difficult. So
mm,
once that is taken care of, I think there's opportunity to grow. But yeah, losing people is usually tough,
mm,
but I would say in the industry and the market we find ourselves, it's really financing,
yeah,
because if you're not
okay,
getting in more revenues, then how do you grow your business?
got it.
Because you need revenues to be able to
To
grow your
push that.
business. You have a big dream, but if money's not coming in, you'll not be able to grow a business. But lucky for us, right now there are so many other businesses that are looking to fund startups. There's
Yes, you
so
do
many
see that now, more
opportunities.
more now
Yes,
than ever,
a
actually.
lot of
Yeah.
businesses, a lot of financial institutions that are looking to scale up businesses. So it means you need to have that business plan ready. If an opportunity doesn't just come if you're not prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say somebody wants to fund your business. Nobody's going to put money into a business that they don't believe in. And the only thing that they can believe in a business is a business plan. What is my idea
Yeah,
about?
that
What's my
structure.
vision? That structure.
Mm-hmm.
What do I want to become? And if I become that, what is the impact I'm going to have? So if you're putting $10,000 in my business, this is going to be your return in investment. And this return of investment is going to be either in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Maybe I also want to give back. Sometimes there's always those little things that
Mm-hmm.
make your business a bit more attractive.
Right.
And people need to be able to spend some time on the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
The foundation of anything, even a house,
Yeah, it
it
has to be
takes it has to be
solid.
solid, it has to
Yeah,
be really
yeah,
strong.
it's
So
biblical.
don't be in a hurry to cruise through it.
Mm-hmm.
Take your time, finish it, do all the mistakes there, and then once it's solid. I'm not saying that once the foundation is okay, nothing bad is going to happen. No, businesses go through so many transitional processes,
They
but
do.
I think spend your time there, and I believe things then would be able to work out.
Amazing. Thank
Yeah.
you. Um, With regards to speed, what do you feel or what do you believe that separates multinational corporations
Mm-hmm.
that successfully, make it into Africa with regarding their brands from those who have high budget presentations but then never are able to translate into the local market? I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure you've come across brands and companies that have been able to morph and really adapt
Yeah.
to the African market
Yeah.
compared to those that are all flashy and kind of get
And
here
then
and
they,
there
they
and it
can't,
falls.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that is important in that particular area is to understand the local place you find yourself. In communication language, we call it localization. So you can be a global brand, and maybe your parent organization is out of Africa and things are done differently there. Now you find yourself in Ghana, as an example. Let's talk about Ghana because that's where I work, and you need to be able to understand the local market in Ghana. You need to be able to understand the nuances of that culture. You need to be able to understand what people like. People often like brands that care about them.
Mhm,
Absolutely.
mhm,
People often like brands that they feel like they can relate to.
mhm.
So if you have to speak in a language I understand, I'll feel, oh, okay, this person has actually come down
They
to
get
my
me.
level. They get me,
Yeah.
and therefore they're able to communicate with me.
Yeah.
People also want to go to brands that they feel are giving some sort of impact. And that's where we always advise brands to look at the storytelling nature of anything. Bottom line, business is about profit. A lot of businesses. So everybody wants to make profit.
Right.
But in this making profit, what kind of impact are you making along the way? Right. So in this making profit, how many people have you been able to employ? How many people have you been able to impact? How many families have you been able to impact? What kind of giving back are you doing? People make such relations to
Mhm.
such brands, and I feel that is where brands tend to either get it wrong or get it right. And also, people want to have brands that are easily, should I say, available. because you can be marketing as much as you are, and if I cannot be able to reach or find you easily, then
it's true. What's the point?
What's the point, right? So I think businesses have to be able to do that. And a lot of times you also need to be able to talk to your audience, find out what else can we be able to do for you, right?
Yeah.
And see how you can just slightly tweak, just to, if it's a core audience, of course you cannot please everybody,
Sure,
and we're not
sure.
trying to
But if
please
it's a
everybody,
sizable
but if it's a
number of your
sizable
market,
number of the market, then let's see how you can be able to tweak this a little bit to
right.
ensure that you keep that sort of audience in. With financial institutions, for example, I do know nowadays nobody wants to walk into any bank to open an account, and therefore they've had to be able to create systems online where you can open your account on an app.
Yeah.
It will be easier for me to choose that financial institution that I can open my account on an app, as opposed to one that requires me to physically drive just to open a bank account.
Yeah.
So if you can be able to make systems a little bit more easy for the audience you're trying to reach, I think that will be a game changer. Absolutely. And you see, even with some businesses, they want to be particularly relatable, let's say, to either women.
Yes.
Either they target women or they target children. So there's always an emotional aspect of that.
Yes.
So your storytelling also has to appeal to people's emotions.
Yes, speak to their hearts.
It has to speak to their heart, because why would I want to give money to a business that doesn't speak to me?
Exactly.
That doesn't
Or
relate
care.
to me, that doesn't care about me. So it's a lot, but if you want to survive in this industry, this market, in this world, you have to be able to put all these things into play.
And I think and consumers are far more savvier now.
Absolutely. And
they
we have
can
a lot
tell.
of choices.
Yes, they can tell when, like, you're being sold to, or whether, I don't think that these people are genuine or authentic, or, they're just after a quick buck. People are, audiences are very, very savvy now with regards to consumers.
Now there's so many options. So Fiona, if you're not going to, I'll go to the next best thing.
Completely.
Yeah. So if you don't give me reasons to choose you, loyalty has become very, unfortunately, transactional, but it can also be built.
Yes.
So you need to move from the transactional business side to the built relationship where people choose you no matter what.
Exactly.
Whether you're expensive or not.
Yes.
Because I believe
you're that
in what your business
product.
is, you're the product I'm always going to choose. Yeah.
Lovely. Just before, you mentioned about, being a woman, whether you have children and things like that. As a woman, I would want to find out from you. You've had to build your own personal brand, but then also you work for a corporate institution. Is it difficult having to play both roles, and is it harder for women to actually pull it off with regards to having your own personal brand, but then also, of course, showing up for the corporate institution that you're working for?
Things have changed. It's right now, I think it's easier for us women to be able to thrive in our careers, and also to be able to thrive personally. So definitely, because, and I mean, the world is very male dominated, and there's also that energy that men come with, that sometimes women feel like they have to match to be able to be chosen.
Right.
So you don't necessarily have to become, and sometimes we are punished either for being too visible. You don't know whether to be visible, whether you're visible or you're too visible.
Yes.
Whether you're loud or
It's
you're
always a
too
dance,
loud.
isn't it?
There's always pros and cons. And I personally feel like we don't have to match the male energy. Already, the feminine energy is beautiful.
Yes, it's enough.
It's enough. It's enough. And I, for one, believe that right now the world has been curated in such a way that there are more opportunities available for ladies. And it's not just, we're not getting these opportunities just because we are women. We're getting it because we're qualified, because we have the skills, because we are able to, speak boldly, we're able to express ourselves, and we're not limiting ourselves to the background. However, there is always that balance that women always have to fight with, which is I'm a homemaker, but I also want to be a career woman. So how do I balance it too? I've come to learn, and in fact, this I learned from my mentor, is that there's nothing like work-life balance.
Right.
Doesn't exist. It's work-life integration. How do you integrate these two things and make them work?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So how do you ensure that you have the right systems at home
That will facilitate.
that will facilitate you being a career woman?
Right.
Or how do you ensure you have the right systems at work that can also facilitate you being a mother,
yes.
a wife, a sister, a friend, and
true.
so on and so forth? Because you have to balance so many aspects of your life. And sometimes in this trying to balance, you forget about yourself. And that's the worst person you can ever forget about.
Yeah,
yourself.
say that to the ladies at the back. Say that again.
Yes, ladies, don't forget about yourself, because once you forget about yourself, it's like you're pouring from an empty cup.
Indeed.
You'll be pouring and pouring and pouring,
Yep.
and then there's nothing left.
Yeah.
Because it's you that needs to actually survive all this.
Exactly. And there's only one of you.
And there's only one of you,
Yeah.
so don't forget about yourself. But kudos to organizations that have put into place better working hours.
Yes, it's
I mean,
true.
and if there's anything that COVID brought, is that we're able to work from anywhere.
Indeed.
You know,
exactly. It's
we
not a
did
fallacy.
No, that's not a fallacy. For 2 years, we worked from home. Like,
Yes.
we never came to any office. So it's possible
Yeah.
to actually work virtually. So I do know organizations have put that sort of hybrid system at work, and it's important. We know that a lot of working moms also struggle with getting help with their children.
Yes.
And therefore you find office environments where they've created a creche,
Yes.
literally in the office,
Yes.
where you can be able to come to work, and they have nannies, they have caregivers.
Yeah.
So your mind is at peace,
Yeah.
knowing that you're
And
able
you
to
focus at the job at
that
hand.
and still know that your child is being taken care of.
Absolutely.
But again, there's also the aspect of if I'm not able to get all this, then it means I have not achieved what I want to have achieved as a woman. And that's the comparison mentality that steals a lot of the joy that women can be able to do.
Right.
Because there's always that comparison of, oh, okay, maybe Fiona has been able to achieve XYZ, and she's been able to balance, in quotes, being a working mom and being a really, really good career woman. And then you forget that in your comparison, you're actually taking time from what you've been able to achieve.
Right.
You know, so it's really important to be able to understand yourself in your situation and just excel in that particular situation. And so much can be gotten out of it. Absolutely. I can speak about women empowerment the whole day. And I know this is not
I think this is definitely another podcast for sure, because I even wanted just to even tap into very briefly about mentoring, and of course the Executive Women's Network that you are part of. And I would like, everybody just to, one, understand the importance of mentorship, especially for women, and two, the Executive Women Network, just so in case people don't know about that.
Yeah. So let me start with Executive Women Network. So Executive Women Network is an association of women, and the role of, or should I say, the mandate of what we try to do is to inspire, empower, and support women to be the best at what they do. It was started, this is actually our 10th anniversary, 10 years ago, by 6 women who were at the peak of their careers. So they were all either MDs or CEOs of the organizations. And I do know that they started it because it was a conversation that as women get higher in their career, it almost seems like there's no supportive network of people they can be able
It's
to
lonely,
rely on.
as you
It's
mentioned
very
before.
lonely. Yeah. And men have that. Men have boys where they're able to come and talk about business and how do we scale and where do we do this. But they felt that there was a gap there, and therefore they needed to start that association.
Great.
And so far it's been amazing.
How many members do you have? Do you know?
Right now we have about 214 members.
Amazing.
Yeah, and it's 214 members in different fields. We have either those in corporate and even entrepreneurs.
Brilliant.
Because one thing about Ghana actually in the world has one of the highest numbers of entrepreneurs, and they're women.
It's beautiful.
So it means we have amazing women building great businesses.
Yeah.
But they need that support. They need a network of people that will keep pushing them. And we have ladies who are they're growing in their careers, trying to get into the C-suite.
Okay.
So when they see that these women have been named as the first woman to ever do X, or the
Brilliant.
first Ghanaian woman to become CEO of X, it encourages them and it keeps them going. And
Absolutely,
that's
because
the
they can
role of
see
what
it.
EWN is. And that brings me to mentorship. People often think that mentorship is about us sitting together and we're talking about how you can be able to grow your career. Mentorship you can actually watch somebody doing something and you
True.
get mentored. So you don't necessarily have to be connected to this
Yeah,
person to
physically.
meet with them either every month, every week, or for them to
That's
mentor
true.
you.
That's very
They
true.
can you can actually and that's what people call role models. But your role model can actually mentor you just by hearing their story, just by listening to them, just by watching them.
Yeah.
You get to learn particular skills that you can be able to get into. So my encouragement to young people is always, and I'm a product of mentorship. I
Right.
have watched amazing women do things. I have worked with amazing women and they have encouraged me to not give up in my career. And therefore it encourages me to go forward. And I remember in the beginning I talked about the reason why I keep doing what I do is because I want to create a legacy. And
Yes.
that's still what keeps pushing me. Um, you don't necessarily have to, because when you attend conferences, you get surrounded by people who want you to mentor them. And they often feel mentorship means Emma needs to talk to me either every week or
Right.
meet
And I
with me
think it
every
can be
month.
quite intimidating a
And
bit
it can
as
also be
well.
a lot because how many people can
Yeah.
you mentor? And I love mentoring. I
Yes.
don't mind mentoring at
Yes.
all, but don't necessarily have to make it that formal process
Right.
of,
Right.
it can be you ask me, and mentorship is actually led by the mentee. People forget that it's the mentee that leads the mentorship conversation,
Right.
so they have to actually approach their
Yeah, so
mentor.
they're doing the work,
They're doing the
really.
work and
Because,
you're just providing the
right.
guidelines and so
Yeah,
on
the
and so forth.
guardrails.
So it shouldn't be something that becomes too rigid,
Rigid.
that it becomes almost like you're working an extra job just to
Agreed.
try and
Agreed.
get somebody to do what they're doing.
I love
Yeah.
that example of simply watching a YouTube video,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know, or seeing somebody, you know, meeting somebody that you admire, as opposed to it being, as you said, this big thing that people like mentorship and mentee. And, you know, again, you know, God being good, I've been able to, you know, mentor young girls and,
Amazing.
you know, and it's been an amazing experience.
Yeah.
And, but like you can see, just I'll probably see them maybe like twice a month or maybe once a month,
Yeah.
but that in itself would be just something that,
It's
you know,
enough.
and it's led by them as
Yes, it
well, as you
has to
mentioned.
be led by them. But now, do you think, Fiona, just throw it back at you, do you think in our whole trying to mentor girls that we are forgetting about the boy child? As a mother of
All the
sons,
time,
what do you think?
exactly. And I do, because yes, we were all girl child, girl child, girl child. And yes, I mean, the reasons for that surge was apparent, you know. But I do feel that our young men, especially when you're seeing this rise of like toxic masculinity, you know, prevalent, that's online on social media and things like that, they really do need guidance
Yeah.
with regards to, you know, how to, you know, treat a woman, you know, how to be, you know, live within a family structure,
Yes.
you know, taking care of themselves, how to engage in society. I do think that with all the focus on young girls, which
Yeah.
quite rightly should be, because they have been disadvantaged for
A
many,
long
many, many
time.
years,
Yes.
decades, I mean,
Yes.
centuries.
Yeah.
But yes, our young men,
Need to still.
they need the guidance
Yeah.
now.
But I think the thing with men is they have this, I don't know if it's in them, but they sort of always have this bigger boldness more than the
Yes,
ladies.
that
You know, with
courage.
ladies, we second guess ourselves a lot. There's,
Agreed.
I think, imposter syndrome in us is
Yep.
like times 100 if you
Yes.
compare to
You're
men.
you're right.
And especially like when you're looking at the job environment and even during the process of applying for a new job, you know, you as a woman, you would look at the job description and the requirements, and even if you don't get 1 out of 15,
Yes.
you wouldn't apply
You
for that.
completely shoot yourself
But
down.
a man will get 8 out of 15 and still apply,
And
and he would
boldly.
boldly go for that. But I think maybe we need to still keep the girl child in check a little bit.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
no, for sure. No, honestly, I mean, I see it in my 11-year-old. This is, you know, he's into social media, TikToking and edits and all that kind of thing. And the boldness that he comes out and he goes, "Mommy, I've seen this celebrity," or "Mommy, I've seen,"
Yeah.
and he will boldly go to them them, and I'd be like, "No, Fee, it's okay.
It's
Just,
okay.
it's
Just
okay. Just
come,
let them have
Bakalishi
their,
bit.
let them have their privacy. You know, they're big people." And he would march up to them and talk with
Yeah.
them, and
But that's
you know,
good. That's
so
good.
you know, I do see the differences. And again, I'm grown, you know, and I'm still like, it's okay. Just give them just this, you
And it's
know.
like, why are you stopping me?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah. I guess
exactly.
there's a lot we can learn from the younger generation right now.
Indeed,
Absolutely.
indeed, indeed. Few questions, rapid
Okay.
questions,
Okay.
okay, with regards to I want you to be quick and honest,
Okay.
okay, about three things. Please tell me one thing any African brand should stop doing immediately.
Comparing themselves to others.
One thing that they're sleeping on.
Digital marketing, for sure.
And one platform or space that is genuinely underrated right now on this continent.
TikTok. TikTok, because I'm sorry, this is not going to be a rapid one,
No,
but
please,
TikTok,
please.
because unfortunately, when it started, TikTok was it's a COVID baby.
Hmm.
So it started as a dancing platform and nobody takes it seriously.
No,
But TikTok has the most eyeballs right now.
please
So
talk.
if a brand is not on TikTok, they're missing out. Just find a creative way to be able to put your brand there and you will succeed.
I won't lie. I am a little scared of TikTok
Yeah.
because of, you know,
How fast things move.
yes, a little
Then you should be
bit.
scared of WhatsApp as well. You know, WhatsApp is also one platform that a lot of brands have not
Tapped
realized
into.
how well they can
I
utilize it.
agree. I
But that's
agree. I agree.
everybody's great grandmother is on WhatsApp.
Yeah,
So that's where everybody is.
yeah,
So
honestly,
if you're not on Facebook,
yeah.
if you're not on
Mm,
Instagram,
mm,
if you're
mm.
not on LinkedIn, TikTok,
Yeah.
at least be on WhatsApp.
Yeah, oh, for
Find
sure.
find a way to, and don't use it as just a platform for chatting.
Yes,
Find a way
communicating.
to grow your business.
Yeah.
WhatsApp business is
Yeah.
growing in
And it's
ways
a
that
lot,
we are not.
especially the
There's
very small
so
businesses.
much. Yes,
Completely.
exactly. And right now it's even made it look like it's 24 hours access.
Yes, it doesn't
Communication is
sleep.
it doesn't sleep.
No.
So they're sleeping on WhatsApp and TikTok.
Yeah,
So those are my
TikTok.
two.
Just to add, iShow Speed was in Ghana a couple of months
Yes,
ago.
yes. And Kenya too.
Yes, and Morocco and Egypt. I mean, I mean, I knew of him before, but of course, my
Yeah,
son and
yeah.
all the other Gen Alphas and Gen Zs. I mean, they were like completely obsessed, and it was wonderful to see how one person can really transform people's mindset about the continent.
Yes.
And he's what, 21,
Yeah, he's quite
22.
young. He's
He's
below 25.
How do you think he and his counterparts are reshaping you know, the visual palette of the continent, especially with regards to branding
Yeah,
various
yeah.
countries and of course the continent as a whole?
I, like you, Fiona, did not know of iShow Speed until okay, I've heard of him
Yeah,
because
yeah,
he's
yeah,
a
yeah.
huge Ronaldo fan.
Yes,
And I'm a
obsessed.
huge United fan. So I think when Ronaldo United, I initially
Right.
I thought he was a United fan. I should speed himself, but no, he's not.
Never. No, 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 no,
He's
no.
a Ronaldo fan. So that's how I got to know about him. But actually, when he was doing his tour of the African continent, is what when I realized how powerful his brand is.
Honestly,
Like I remember when he
frightening.
was in Kenya and Ghana, I was in Kenya then for holidays.
Okay.
And it's just beautiful seeing how one young man can be able to in fact, I don't think he was going to do a tour of all those countries,
No,
but because of the
the reception,
reception, the PR, the marketing that he brought to the different
his
countries,
energy is something else.
they wanted to invite him.
Yeah,
So it was almost like he was opening up a way of getting to know even your country more.
absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, when he was in Ghana, I mean, how many of us have gone to Hamamat's Shea Butter Museum? Literally, it's two
Yeah, through
blocks away
that.
from my office.
My
I haven't
goodness.
been there, but
Right.
now I'm interested in it
Yes.
because
Yeah.
when he
She
was
did
there and he
amazingly.
spoke about it, and the reception he got from, and we've always thought about shea butter as just something we buy, put on
Yes.
our
It's a
skins and that,
staple.
but
She's made it
she's
global.
she's educating us about shea butter,
Yep.
the different
The
types of shea
variety.
butter, and
Indeed.
what you can do with shea butter.
Yeah.
And just last week I saw at the Kweku Business Forum
Mm-hmm.
when she her stand, she's actually making ice cream, Fiona. out
You're
of shea butter.
kidding. You're kidding.
Nope.
Like that's something that she's just birthed.
She's just birthed a product out of that.
Wow.
And can you imagine if she had decided, I've had enough. I just want to do shea butter museum and that's it. But
So
she
she's
had to now,
constantly,
yes, research and development to see how she can be able to grow.
Hammermat, please, if there's any
And
opportunity
this
to
is
get you here,
because
that'd
of
be amazing.
one young boy
Yeah.
who came to Ghana
Yeah.
and loved his experience,
Yeah.
and he spoke about it, and now it's going
Beautiful.
on. So maybe every young person needs to know that they need to create their own niche, because there are so many people on digital media.
Yes,
But Aisha Speed has created his niche.
he does. He
He's
has.
created his niche,
Yeah.
and he does what he does.
And now
And you might initially think, oh, why is this shirtless dude? What is he doing? And why is
doing
he
backflips in
doing
bowls of
backflips? What is
jollof.
it? What is it? Yes, exactly. What is it bringing to me?
Yeah.
See
No,
what it's
honestly,
brought
it was
you. It
infectious.
has given us more about Ghana, more about Morocco, more about
Yep.
Nigeria, more
Indeed.
about Kenya, and we know so much more. So there's a lot that can be tapped into. Another person is Wodemaya.
He's a gem.
He's married to one of our
I
Kenyan
know,
sisters, so
I
that's
know.
really beautiful. But
And congratulations to them, by the way.
yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's amazing.
Congratulations to them. And you know, his travel was a passionate thing that he did.
And you could see that.
And you could see
it was
that he was
genuine.
passionate about travel. But he was also frustrated about the roadblocks in travel within the continent. And therefore, he just wanted to educate people that we need to be able to, break down some of these barriers and make travel a bit more accessible. And that's how the Wodemaya brand has grown.
Yeah.
Because he decided what his niche is.
Yeah.
It was passion, but it's also something that he wanted. He had a vision for what he wanted it to
And
be.
he's also authentic.
Yes.
Because I think throughout, whether it's Aisho Speed or brands, services, whatever,
he didn't have
as
to
long
change
as it's
who
authentic,
he is.
people can see
I
that.
know people used to make fun of Wodemaya with he has these particular slippers he used to wear when he started his YouTube
so.
video. People are like, but you've become so rich, Wodemaya. Why are you always wearing the slippers? And do you know what he said? That's my brand. And you know, there's nothing more beautiful than being yourself.
Seeing somebody's authenticity.
Yes, that's
absolutely.
it. That's it. And brands get attracted to that.
Exactly.
You don't have to change who you are, because once you change who you are, you'll be trying too much. You're trying to be remember, okay, who is the Emma that I know
you try
exactly.
initially. And people see that, and people get turned off.
It. And that's, I think, what has actually also made Aisha Speed win.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
there's
a lot.
We're excited to see what Wodemaya, Aisho Speed, all our various African influencers are doing, because it's an exciting time, I must admit.
It is a really good time. It is a good time. And hopefully it's also an opportunity for us old school minded
yes,
people to know that that careers are not just built in an office. Because for a long time we had to go to school.
Yes.
And then when you go to school, you have to work in an
that
office.
routine.
There's a very routine kind of thing. But now we're seeing that people are building their careers out of passion, and they're even becoming employers.
Yes.
So
you're right.
We need to be able to change our mindset about what a career really can be, and just go with the times.
Yeah.
But also another encouragement is not to necessarily think that you have to jump on every trend that comes your way as a business, because not all your audiences or not all the trends are good for your particular business. So
that's
there has
very
to be
true.
that sort of balance. Yeah.
I'm really excited because I know firsthand that you are the chairperson for the Kenyans in Ghana Association.
Yes, I am.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because it's been an institution that has been morphing for a number of years. So if you can kind of share with us.
So I'm currently the chairperson of the Kenyans in Ghana Association. This association was actually started a long time ago. When I came to Ghana, there was an association. We had a chairperson. We had some sort of administration, because for a long time we didn't have a mission present in Ghana.
That's right.
So we sort of had to, for lack of a better word, take care of each other. So anytime you met another Kenyan, you would introduce them to the Kenyans and so on and so forth. But now the community is really, really growing. And in 2019, it was sort of now formalized as an association.
Right.
However, in 2023, when we were elected into office, then we registered the association. So now we are registered in Ghana.
Fantastic.
We are legally registered in Ghana. We have a bank account. We actually have an auditor, and we're growing. We're really growing.
Do you know how many people as of now you have in the association?
Okay, so in the association we have about 120, but those are the registered members.
Yes, I'm sure there's far more than that.
There's more Kenyans in Ghana. We are close to 700 Kenyans, and that is known because I'm sure every single day there's somebody somewhere who we don't know is in Ghana. So more than 700, and this doesn't count even children.
Right.
Because we don't take details of children.
Okay.
Yeah, and the community is so wide. A lot of them are corporates.
Yes.
Majority are corporates. We have a few entrepreneurs, and we have a big community of Kenyans who are married in Ghana. So a lot of our sisters have come to get married in Ghana.
I have one.
Yes, I'm married here, and then we also have a growing number of students.
Right.
So we have students across the major universities. I think Ashesi has the bigger chunk. We have students at Central University. We have a good number at in Kumasi, in Tech
University. Yeah.
Yes, and then we also have missionaries who come to Ghana.
Really?
Yes. So we have sisters, we have fathers who are placed in Ghana. So that's also another growing. So
brilliant.
Kenyans are here doing everything.
Yes. No, I do. I do see and hear a lot of Kenyans, again, particularly in the corporate corporate side of things.
And also in hospitality.
Of course.
I think a lot of the major hotels in Ghana is being led by a Kenyan or has a Kenyan working there.
Yeah, so, no, but that's very true. I mean, the hospitality and tourism industry, I mean, East Africa, particularly Kenya, are second to none. So
that's our community.
Fantastic.
We love Ghana. So we're trying to see how we can, as we are living and loving this country, how we can also ensure that we're giving back to the country as well, because this is actually home.
Yes,
this is I think Ghana is our first home and Kenya is our second home, because we spend more time here than in Kenya.
And to be fair, I do see how the association really does integrate with the community, with Ghana. So of course you'd be celebrating Ghanaian holidays and traditions, but then also you'll be celebrating your independence.
Our own holidays.
Exactly. So I really do see the association immersed within the Ghanaian landscape, which is beautiful.
I'm so proud of my team currently, because there's so much we've done.
Yes.
Recently we launched an integration manual.
Okay.
Just to when you come to Ghana,
that soft landing.
A book, that enables you to know a bit about Ghana, how to
the
things you should do, the things you shouldn't do. A few 3 words just to ensure you're settling in well.
Cultural etiquette. Very good.
When not to use your left hand, because Kenyans, we use both hands, and you come to Ghana and you're told the left hand is not your hand. So yes, those little things have also been able to grow. Yeah, and it's I love seeing how it's becoming bigger. And now we have a mission here, so it also makes things easier for us as well.
Right.
So of course we work hand in hand with the High Commission in case there's any information that we need to pass on to Wananchi in Ghana and so on and so forth.
He's quite active, your commissioner.
Yes,
I have seen him at a lot of events.
You have?
Yes, I have. He's very active.
Ambassador Shem, yes, he's quite new. He came last year, but I think he's integrated quite well with the community.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, exciting things.
Yeah.
Oh, well, here's to an even bigger association being formalized. But you're doing an amazing job also at the helm of that. So that's amazing.
Thank you. It's people like you helping us make things happen.
Oh, it's been
even
it's
behind
been
the
great.
scenes.
Yes. No, we got to do our part. We have to do our part. So thank you for having us. Thank you.
Okay.